Fourth Industrial Revolution dominated discussions at the Manufacturing Indaba underway in Sandton in Johannesburg. Delegates heard that the Fourth Industrial Revolution is disruptive in its nature and presents both challenges and opportunities. Manufacturers need to balance costs of investments, jobs and skills to move with the times and stay competitive.
The manufacturing sector is going through challenging times, from the low-growth environment to the onslaught of the unfolding politics of trade globally. Its contribution to GDP has declined over the years. Speakers say keeping up with technology developments will ensure manufacturers do not get left behind.
Many of the clothing factories are just simply not invested in machinery. And what has happened is that those companies that did have actually done very well. They've gone up the value chain. They've been putting machinery in that is producing better clothing than was being produced before. And those companies that are making white T-shirts and jeans and unable to compete with the Indians and the Chinese have fallen away. I think that that's a lesson for all manufacturers to say, what is the opportunity in this crisis? Rather than trying to beat your head against a wall, invest for the future.
There is fear that the Fourth Industrial Revolution will come with job losses. Skills will be essential to ensure companies are competitive.
What the Industry 4.0 is advocating for is not necessarily intended to replace jobs, because sometimes you find that that tends to be the fear. I think the challenge for manufacturing in the next 10 years is to make sure that we are agile enough to be responsive to digitization, but at the same time we are able to maintain the quality of jobs that we have always had and be able to skill our labor force and reskill our labor force in such a way that we are responsive.
Others say the education system needs to be reviewed.
To a large extent, there are massive changes we need to make in terms of how we equip people, in terms of being able to to work in a future world or in fourth industrial driven world. That then goes back to say maybe we need to look at our education system and all those kind of things and giving people practical exposure to that. We also need to look at how we encourage people to be more creative and be more innovative in how they do things, because I think that's at the core of how you start creating a different mindset that is able to exploit the opportunities that technology and innovation provides.
Government says policy intervention to ensure broadband coverage and affordability is important. Education to produce the relevant skills also need to be reviewed.
Skills obviously are a core for us developing, but the issue of broadband, the affordability, the coverage, the reliability of it, it's important as well. Fourth Industrial Revolution is disruptive by its very nature. So it's going to disrupt many things. The issue of e-commerce, the issue of e-learning. So it's going to disrupt the way education is provided. So that's why I'm saying it's not only the issue of higher education, but this education broadly.
Manufacturers say the rand volatility presents another challenge they have to deal with. They say the volatility makes it hard to make predictions and to plan. SABC News.